Welcome to this channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So, in my previous videos, I have shared that the Sampai of today's Wing Chun, also the Sampai section of the Sampai set of Shaolin Wing Chun, are actually mimicking the 1850s anti-Qing Xu Lim Tao's content. Now, due to I say that, many of our Wing Chun friends asking me to prove it. Instead of me standing here, put down the today's Wing Chun. So, today I'm going to share with you proof with technology that the Wing Chun today, which is based on the 1870s Pro-Qing Red Boat opera player, which is related to the Shaolin Wang Chun, namely the person San Kam or Tai Fa Ming Kam. This part of the art, the San Bai Fat part, is actually copying the 1850s Xu Lim Tao sets, a part of it, without knowing the mechanics within the 1850s sets. Thus, it creates a mess today, and it is not fully functional for whatever get copied to today's Wing Chun. Now, let's get into it. In the 1850s instructions of practicing the Xu Lim Tao, it says this: your both arm you raise from the front, you need to always know about its yin and yang, or positive, negative, meaning either it's this way or this way. Like the other day I shared, this is the yang palm, this is the yin palm. You need to know this. And yin yang have another meaning the turning. When you do the yin and yang, of course you're going to turn. And when you turn, of course your body is taught with it. So this is one of the instructions, meaning that when you practice the 1850s Xu Lim Tao sets, you better know this. Pay attention to these details of your hand turning, your body rotating. And then it continues it, spiraling and turning. It always, when you're spiraling or turning your arm, it always have to follow with your breathing and the energy flow. Well, you can read it in my book, Inception, Wing Chun Inception, okay, on Amazon, all those details. And it said that the leg step up. There are kind and unkind, or there are proper or improper stepping out. So, in playing the Xu Lim Tao of 1850, one must know the change of the yin yang. In the same time, the footsteps stepping. Now, when you practice this part, I don't want to call it San Bai Fat because it's never called San Bai Fat in the Wing Chun 1850. When you practice this part, you see my arm is actually turning, my body is talking, and actually my weight is changing, those steps need to adjust if it's needed. Okay? So it's like this. It is never like today. You stand in the triangle stance, you have the body structure, you lock your wrist, you have this immobile elbow, you push it out and you bring it back. So you're facing straight like you have a triangle, you're pushing it back, and you have a straight line. It never is that. This is just you pushing it back and forth with your arm, the elbow, your joint lock, and with your body like supporting it, or you will say that oh yeah, force going down to your body, and because you have a structure and so forth, so forth, so forth. This is today's Wing Chun, and even if you look at the Shaolin Wing Chun, they still lock their wrist and then they push out doing this. Same stuff. Now, for the 1850, you see that it is actually doing this turn. Now, so you ask me, what's the big deal, Hendrik? This turn and the step, what is the big deal? Versus we have so powerful, the mind power, the triangle power, the structure power, and so forth. Let's look at it. What is the difference? Say this is my opponent. If I do the structure like today, today's Wing Chun Sam Bai Fan, lock my wrist using my elbow power, and then my structure power, I push it up. If the opponent is smaller than me or equal than me, then well, I can do that, okay? Pushing straight line. If the opponent is bigger than me, then I'm going to get pushed back because all my joint will not be able to last. Why? It's like you put a stick or a rod, a wooden rod down to the ground and you push it. Well, if you push the rod down to the ground with your force, your strength, that's okay. If you got a bulldozer to push it, the entire rod break up. Okay? So this is what happened. You have one direction. If the opponent is weaker, you can push him, you overpower him. You can say your body have a structure like a rod, like a rack. You can sustain or whatever pushing you. However, as soon as it's a bigger power than you or higher speed than you snapping at you, this entire thing will break. Okay? Now, same with Wing Chun, Wang Chun. After 1870, that is this type of mechanics. How about the 1850? The 1850, this is rotating. The body is rotating. Okay? So when he have an extremely heavy force come to me, it's going to, because of this is rotating, my body is twerking, it is forcing me to move like that. The force is pushing me to do like this. Okay? So one is I pushing him. If I cannot overcome him. He's too big to me. Then I'm out, or he snap at me. All this joint can break. The 1850 is because it's twerking and the step is ready for a move. So when it collide with it, even if it's a sumo player, it's going to move my body, shift my body this way, get into this way. My body unharmed. I do not resist it. I do not against it. Okay? Well, now, so this involves a talking of body and a step of the position where you don't fight the force face to face. It is a soft art. You don't fight the force face to face. That's how you actually neutralize, or you actually what do you call it? Dissipate his energy or his power, to be more correct. Whatever his strength move into me, I just toward my body, step away, and the force go away. In the same time, I get close now. Hey, 1850s Wing Chun is a sticking body short strike, as I shared in my video the other day. This is the position I want. I want to get this close to him. Okay? So, with this, you know that today's Wing Chun Sam Bai Fat and the Shaolin Wing Chun, they have the shape or mimicking the shape of 1850s Xu Tao sets. However, they do not have the torque and they do not have the steps. That means you only go for a straight line. You don't have that spiral torquing and moving the steps, which is actually completely, you dissolve the energy, or the power should be more correct, or the force. You dissolve it without putting into your body, and you get close. Now, once you get close, guess what? You go like that, get pushed in, you torque in, it turn into this. Today people call it wu sao like that. No, it is not that thing. It is going up to here, and then because the body, the step is down, it is an inject. Okay? So it's from here, whatever come, it push in, it grab in until at this position, it inject, shoot it in. This is the Wing Chun short strike power. It never is. It is. Or it is a sticking body short strike art. So you need to face it. 1870s Wing Chun and Shaolin Wing Chun Sam Bai Fat said that Sam Bai Fat is mimicking the 1850s Wing Chun Xiu Tao sets, a part of that. But it have only that straight line stuff. It doesn't have the torquing and the stepping out, because the torquing and the stepping out has to work so that you don't take the strength from the opponent and you move in and you snap him. Now, it is very critical because your body be able to adapt to that situations of big force. Now we look at today's in martial art. Say judo. Judo is from jiu-jitsu, is from Japan for hundreds of years. It's called ju, meaning it is soft. So what judo do? Say for example, you play with a judoka. You see this kind of stuff, right? Those are actually pulling, pushing. Those are actually turning your arm and your torso. And if you want to do an ogushi, you step it in, you throw. Right? So even judo have that turning of the hand, the yin yang, and the stepping. Now, when you get into the 1850s, 1870s Wing Chun until today, you keeping training this. Your body is like a structure, it's like a triangle. You meet somebody like in judo, very obviously you meet those jiu-jitsu player, be it jiu-jitsu or BJJ, where the body is training in this rotating and stepping mechanics, and you are only a straight line structure stuff. I mean, how are you going to defend yourself with the limited mechanics you have? 1850 have that mechanics. Does it get this close? It have the shot power and everything. But today's doesn't have it. I don't even go inside into deep into the how to deliver the shot jing, the inch power at close yet. So this is the proof. We like it or not, disregard of what legend, who is the grandmaster, uh, all the stories and everything. You don't have the mechanic of the torque. You don't have the stepping mechanic. You have only using that standing there structure triangle mechanic where you are fighting force with force. When you're fighting force with force, when your structure material of the structure cannot handle the opposition, it breaks. While the 1850s Wing Chuns do not take that to the body, it just twerking, stepping away to dissipate whatever come to it, or to move away whatever the strength come to it. So this is what I like to share with you. This is reality. And again, I'm not putting down anybody. This is a war. If you're keeping training this for 10,000 years, guarantee when you meet a jiu-jitsu, judo, or wrestler who always train in the body of the twerking and step moving for throwing, you cannot handle it. Don't kid ourselves because there's no mechanic there to play with what the judo, jiu-jitsu, BJJ, wrestler have. You don't have the mechanics. You don't have the training. So this is technical reality.